It's corner where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And I'm a cowboy on a pale horse I ride. What's going on? I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Welcome to the show. It's Monday, February something. It doesn't even matter. And I hope everybody's doing well. Now, hit that like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other social media platforms. And you know where they're at. They're right below the video. All you got to do is go down there and just, search through a couple of things. My email's down there, all kind of stuff. If you want to, not call, but like if you want to email me, because somebody did email me about something, I'm like, yeah, I'll respond to that stuff. As long as you don't get crazy. As long as you don't get crazy, because, some people be like, what are you up to, buddy? Okay, nothing. So what you doing later? Nothing. I thought this was, kind of more of a formal interaction, but yeah. So no, but I don't mind. I like actually interacting with my audience, and I mean it's pretty cool. Y'all make me laugh, and as long as I don't find anybody who is a stalker or something like that, then I'm cool. That's right. Now, I started a little early so I can get the preliminaries out the way. I want to do a little quick sound check. 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me? Breaker 1 9. All right, if you can hear me, let me know. Somebody said happy Monday. Yeah, okay, coming in clear from North Carolina. Wait, did the voting take place in North Carolina yet? When is that? Or did it happen already? Because I know Nikki Haley probably is going, either she took a beating or she's about to take a beating in her own state. I'm pretty sure. So let me know when that's going on. I don't want to miss that so I can gloat. All right. Now, please like, share, follow, all that good stuff. Don't forget, if you like what you hear, you want to support the channel through my monthly fundraiser, you can do that. The link is below this video. All right. Now, let's go ahead. Let me get loose so that I can get busy. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Get some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Now I'm seeing people checking in from New Orleans, Michigan, and all over the place. I love to see where everybody's following the show from. Make sure you tell everybody in your neighborhood to follow Kev from Kevin's Corner. I appreciate all of that stuff. Helps the channel grow. All right. Also, what else helps the channel grow is if you guys go to Kevin's Corner store and grab a couple items. That always works and it always helps support the channel. You can get merchandise with who. I can't say his name. I'm telling you, he's like Beetlejuice if you say his name. But he's up here wandering around, snooping around the room right now, looking for something to get into. Yeah. So he's clever. He's clever. Even if I whisper his name, he like, you want me? You want? Somebody said from Canada. Okay. What's happening? Yeah. Our next door neighbors. Hey, you tell Justin Trudeau, the man chicken, to get out. Tell him his time is done. We done with the man chicken, man. So now, I think that's it. Oh, 330-974-4607 if you want to stay connected just in case I get bounced off of here. All right, you know how to reach me. Now, with that being said, guys, y'all know that it's been a horrific week for Creepy Sleepy, Sleazy, Slimy, Sloppy Joe. And I'm talking horrific. That man has been getting his butt beat all week. And actually, he's been getting his butt beat all year. All 3 years, actually. But the media has been covering it up. But I guess that it has gotten beyond the, how should I say, propaganda of the media to a degree. And it's starting to leak out. So Creepy Sleepy, after coming out and doing his show, I mean, not his show, but after coming out and doing his little press conference, decided he was going to do a Super Bowl, I guess, little, commercial or, info commercial. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. Had nothing to do with the Super Bowl. Nothing to do with the Super Bowl. But Creepy Sleepy decided to come out and say a couple words about the Super Bowl? I don't know. And it ended up, in my opinion, being the worst presidential, video, comment, interview. It wasn't even an interview. He can't do interviews. Little promotional ad, I don't know what it was, of all times. And I'm talking of all time. Somebody said the woke bowl. Yeah, it did get kind of woke. Now, let's go ahead and check out Creepy Sleepy telling us
Super Bowl
about
Sunday.
something.
If you're anything like me, you like to be surrounded by a snack or two while watching the big game. You know, when buying snacks for the game, you might have noticed one thing. Sports drinks bottles are smaller.
I did notice that. I did not notice that. Yeah, see, this is an unnecessary ad. This is one of them ads where you're like, how is this going to make any of our lives better? All the issues going around the whole country, Joe Biden decides to focus on them putting less snacks inside of your snack jars and wrappers and bags and stuff like that. Who is keeping up with this? Do you think Creepy notices that? I mean, you think this man is sitting up here talking about something? You know what? I noticed there's 10 or 30% less Doritos in my bag. He don't realize there's like 98% less brain cells in his head. And you think that man knows about how many Doritos, Oreos, and all that stuff? I mean, who's the person that said, Joe Biden, this would be a great Super Bowl ad? Something to focus on to make the people feel like you pay attention to real serious issues. So instead of talking about just the Super Bowl, something like that, he comes out and tries to, I guess, convince the American people that he's fighting on their behalf to make sure that they get 100% of the Doritos and snacks in their bag. Now, if they told us, okay, this is how much every bag of Doritos weigh, who's the person that's going to be going, okay, let me sit it on the scale, make sure I'm not shorted 1 or 2 Doritos. But Joe Biden comes out and he's trying to convince us that this is dead serious.
A bag of chips has fewer chips, but they're still charging it just as much.
Now, look, I don't know what that means. Whole bunch of chips still charging us that much. That man right there is barely opening his mouth. And there's a whole bunch of Worcestershire sauce. I don't know what he's saying. There's chips and dips, more or less.
As an ice cream lover, what makes me the most angry is that ice cream cartons have actually shrunk in size.
How do you know that? Who brought that to your attention? Do you think Creepy was up there eating his chocolate chip and was like, you know what? I noticed there's a chocolate chip missing. Yeah. You're like, what? Are you sure, Mr. President? Absolutely. I count them every single time I eat this. There's a chocolate chip missing. That might be the only thing he does count, because he sure can't count numbers, money, none of that. Yeah. So that man right there is saying there's less chocolate chip in his ice cream. Now, do you believe that? This goes to show the level that this administration is on when they choose to focus on something so irrelevant in our lives that we're supposed to appreciate this man that's coming out and addressing this issue that nobody, and I mean nobody, I would like to find the one person besides Joe and his staff that notices that there's less snacks in their bags and stuff. Yeah, but this is a serious issue enough for him to do a little infomercial about.
Not in price. I've had enough of what they call shrinkflation. It's a ripoff. Some companies are trying to pull a fast one by shrinking the products little by little and hoping you won't notice.
Nope, you're trying to pull a fast one by shrinking and belittling our intelligence and hoping that we don't notice. There it is. He's hoping we do not notice. Get us distracted away from that border. How about you go and shrink that border, buddy? Those people coming across, shrink that. Shrink this inflation, the Bidenomics inflation. Don't be talking about no shrinkflation. Always trying to come up with some little catchy, tag word or statement to, maybe get the people on board with something stupid, a little catchphrase that doesn't make sense. For shrinkflation. Now, I bet you all of these companies are probably offended. He put all of those snacks and stuff in his little ad. If I were them, I might sue Joe Biden. I'm like, man, who's this guy? Comes out talking about something. We put less cookies, Oreos in there. What? You getting short at one Oreo? How do you know that? How do you know that? But none of us. This is Joe. Just straight coming out, throw all those things out there and says, this is a problem and it's called shrinkflation. But he's fighting for us, y'all. He ain't fighting for us when it comes down to housing, when it comes down to poverty, when it comes down to crime, when it comes down to illegal immigration, all of these things. He's fighting for everybody else but us. But then he brings up something stupid like the Democrats always do. We're fighting for reparations, things that nobody thinks about. Junk fees, stuff that we're going, what? Climate change. I won't be around for climate change because I'm starving, man. I'm starving. Yeah, I can't afford food. I'm starving. And you talking about some climate change.
Give me a break.
No, you give me a break.
The American public is tired of being played for suckers.
You're right about that, buddy. That's about the one thing he got right. Because a lot of his voters are tired of being played for suckers. According to his polls, and a whole bunch of them feel like lollipops right about now. After watching Joe Biden come out the other day with that little cameo appearance, that rare appearance that he tried to address everybody on. And all he did was prove to everybody that, man, maybe I'm not a smart voter. I can't believe I let this guy bamboozle me. Yeah, I'm tired of being suckers. So hopefully, as we move towards 2024's election, maybe, just maybe, many of his voters will find out that they're tired of being played for suckers.
I'm calling on companies to put a stop to this. Let's make sure businesses do the right thing now.
Oh, God. So he's calling on companies to put a stop to it. What does that even mean? How does that benefit? I mean, what you think the companies are going, oh, crap, Joe Biden's on to us. All right, put that extra Dorito in there. Darn it. We were saving big bucks. But hey, that Joe Biden, he's quite clever. He's quite clever. Put the extra chocolate chip in there. Darn it, we can't pull nothing over on him. Everything is getting pulled over on Joe. Everything. Yeah, his whole presidency is getting pulled over on him. He don't even realize that, Joe, you weren't there for 8 years. We only wanted you 4, man. We knew you couldn't finish the race. We knew that. But for some reason, you thought you got the juice. So now here he is, and I have to prove that he doesn't have the juice. Some more of his gaffes. He's a gaff machine, oh baby.
I know there's some attention paid to some language in the report about my recollection of events. Yeah. There's even reference that I don't remember when my son died.
Oh. How the hell? Now he's offended. He's offended right now. He's like, you know what? This is some bull crap. Now, what he's not mentioning is that during, I guess, the deposition or the interview or whatever, they weren't concerned about him remembering that his son died. It's when his son died. Now, to be fair, I'm not great when it comes down to dates. You know, I mean, it got to be something to stand out. One time I forgot my own birthday. I ain't gonna even. My father called me up like, "Happy birthday, son." I said, "What? Oh yeah. That is, okay, thanks." One time I forgot my dad's birthday in the same month twice. Yeah, called him early with an excuse. Hey, Dad, I'm sorry. I'm forgot your birthday. I'm just so busy and there's things. Hey, son, you didn't forget my birthday. Oh, I didn't? No, my birthday is not today. I mean, I told him, I was like, wait, no, your birthday is what? On the 5th, right? No, son, my birthday's on the 31st. I was like, no, I think it's the 5th. I know my own birthday, son. I'm like, okay. Well, that gives me about 3 weeks to remember it. Guess what? 3 weeks came, went past it, called him in like February the 2nd. Hey, Dad, same excuse, reading off the script. It's been busy. Things are kind of crazy here. Unbelievable. So that right there, I won't give him a complete excuse because, see, a death, especially when it comes down to a child, which every parent assumes that they're going to go before their children, should be so traumatic that is sketched in your brain forever. But Joe doesn't realize that even though he uses Bo as a talking piece all the time, constantly, my son Bo, lying about it too. My son Bo died in Afghanistan, all of that stuff. Even though he uses his death, politically, he doesn't know the date, or at least he appeared to not know the date. So they, of course, highlighted that. But Joe's going to come out and going to try to combat that by getting emotional. See, that's one of the tactics that a lot of people on the left do. Back up off me, even though the facts show that I'm blew out, even though the facts show that whatever, but back up off me because I'm going to show you that I'm mad, I'm hurt, and I'm passionate, and I'm offended. I'm offended that you would even say this or, suggest this or even highlight this. But something revealed itself right after.
How dare he raise that? Frankly, when I was asked the question, I thought to myself, it wasn't any of their damn business.
Oh, look at that, he's mad.
Let me tell you something.
What?
Some of you have commented, I wear since the day he died.
Okay, what?
Every single day, the rosary he got from Our Lady of...
Uh-oh. From Our Lady of who? The Lady of the Lake? Huh? The Lady of the Night? We don't know who this lady is. So neither does Joe. And that's what happens. See, you're going to go ahead and prove a point talking about, I got from the lady of, where did I get it? What lady gave me this? So now it's the lady of Guadalupe, but he doesn't remember. But here he is earlier in his life when he did remember. See.
Flashback.
Bo wore these. Hunt got these for Bo and me.
Hunt got them for Bo and him. Okay, so who was Hunt? Well, Hunt got them for Bo and him. Yeah, I'm thinking, what are you talking about? You made it seem like you visited the Lady of Guadalupe just a minute ago. Yeah, I got it from the Lady of, who he couldn't remember. He should have just said Hunt gave it to me and Bo. But here we go.
And at Our Lady of Guadalupe down in Mexico.
It's official. Joe Biden mishandled classified documents. And now his two-tier justice system is on full display.
What?
The Department of Justice found Joe retained and disclosed classified documents, including matters of national security and intelligence sources and methods. He put America's national security at risk.
Whoa! This is an ad from Trump. They jumped on this quick. I guarantee you, as soon as Joe finished that press conference, this piece was already put together. As he was talking, they were like, don't worry, we're on it, Trump. Yep, out there right now. Send it. Immediate. So, yeah, all of the things that they accused Trump of, Joe is guilty of. Wow. And he tried to come out and say, didn't do nothing. All the things in that report's a lie.
And then lied about it.
I did not share classified information. I did not share.
And after all that, Biden's special counsel still declined to indict him because he was, quote, an elderly man with a poor memory.
This is not a good look. See, and I'm going to tell you, I don't mind Trump and them punching this dude right in his kidneys because he's crooked and he's corrupt and he's evil. And I told y'all, I have no pity on Joe for the simple fact, every time he gets a moment of clarity, he uses it for evil. He allows himself to be used for evil. So now this looks like a perfect example of an elderly man who doesn't know what he's doing. And Trump is not going to spare him. He's like, put it out there. Put it out there. It's good. That's good. Run it. Yeah. I want everybody to see that this man is unfit. Now, I don't think at this point, guys, that I've been hearing a lot of opinions about should he get removed right now? Should we impeach him? Or should we just let him suffer through this? Should we let the Democrats have to suffer through this and figure out what are we going to do? How are we going to swap him out? Because I wonder if we get rid of him on an impeachment or the 25th right now, that might give the Democrats a nice little, hey, look, we got to replace him with whomever. I want to make them tap out. I want to make them do it because they know this dude is not going to win. They know he is blew out. And besides, at this point, by the time they go through trying to impeach him, trying to run the 25th Amendment through, we'd be almost at the election. Almost at the election. So they're scrambling right now. Their back is up against the wall. They're getting beat up when it comes down to all these issues we're about to see. And they got a blew out president that they installed and everybody sees it. They're all saying, wow, we've been played for suckers, as Joe talking about. Hey, we're sick of being suckers.
And diminished faculties who didn't even remember when he was vice president. Joe Biden, unfit to stand trial, unfit to lead America.
Oh, that hurts. Oh, man. Wow, and that is true. It hurts because it's true. Unfit to stand trial, then he should be unfit to lead America. That's right. I don't want no man to be able to go in and say, hey, you can't hold me accountable because I don't remember stuff, but I do have access to the nuclear codes. I'm concerned about that. So, yeah, Trump stuck it to him with this ad almost immediately. Boy, and so now we're going to go ahead and have to suffer through them adjusting to this whole situation as we continue throughout the show. Let's get into it.
Biden too old?
Well, kind of, yes, he is.
He's not running our country at the end of the day. It's everybody else running our country that tells him he's a puppet.
It done leaked out to the streets of New York. They out there going, yeah, he's too old. He ain't running the country now. Anybody who voted for him the first time, I just find it fascinating that they would even think that the dude was capable of running the country. They should have just known, like, man, we're about to vote Barack Obama in for the third time or something, or anybody. We're about to vote some unelected bureaucrats in. There we go. There's no way in the world anybody in their right mind who even remotely follows politics should have been deceived to find out that Joe Biden actually is not running the country. I mean, I knew it as soon as they installed him. I'm like, okay, they installed this dude, and they're just gonna sit him up there, put their hand right up his butt, and speak through his mouth. And that's exactly what they've been doing. Now they're up in New York asking these people about Joe Biden.
So that's just my personal opinion.
Is Joe Biden too old to be president?
My dad is his age, yes. So based on that, yes.
Wow, your dad must have had you late as heck. She looks about 28. Her dad hit a buzzer beater. I'm about 70. Yeah, there you go. One for the road. Didn't think it was going to go in. It's like, the game's over. We already won. Throw the ball over the shoulders. And, oh, my God, I made that? Oh, wow. Didn't know. So, yeah, she's talking about her dad's his age. Good grief. But nonetheless, yeah. Now, see, the bad part is not just his age. It's his mind. And it makes me upset when they try to compare him to, of course, Donald Trump. I said it last week. I said Trump went and took a mental and physical exam and passed them both. Where's Joe's? Nobody did the mental. Okay, yeah. See, that goes to show that Joe can't afford to go through that mental exam because it would expose him just like this report did.
Mine too. Is Joe Biden too old?
Yes, he's up there.
What do you think? Is Joe Biden too old to be president?
Yes. Yeah.
Why?
You heard the guy speak. He's kind of out there.
And look, a couple takeaways. One, it's New York City. You could literally have a corpse, no joke there, I'll let you read into that, run against Donald Trump, and they're going to vote for the corpse. So,
and that's the sad part about it. We're going to get a large portion of people who just going to go down there, close their eyes, and go click it. And that's the sad part about it. There's nothing worse. I never appreciated an educated voter like I have these last 7.5, 8 years. I mean, back in the day when I was a young boy, I mean, you just vote. Yeah, all right, I think this guy's cool. He said some nice things. Click it. As you get older, and as it became very clear how corrupt our politicians are and their agenda, that's when I started saying, whoa. I mean, your vote impacts us all. You need to know what you're doing. You can't fall for the okie doke on your vote. We don't want the okie doke vote. Nobody wants that. So it's so important right now that people are informed when they vote. But we have a whole heap of them that's just going to go straight in and do the okie doke vote. And I don't think it's enough okie doke to actually pull off a victory for Creepy Sleepy. So the media is going to have to try to run interference for him.
You have to take that into account. But what stood out to me, you notice certain things are making it through, even for those who may watch the mainstream media or no media at all. The fact that Joe Biden talked about somebody who was dead multiple times. You heard that sneak through. And it's this overall notion of who is pulling the strings. If that makes it into the swing states more so than in just the Trump voters' minds, that is where the Democrats have trouble.
Yep. And they're going to have trouble because of these two issues we're about to see right now. Immigration and crime. These are important, real things, unlike how many snacks are in your bag. See, you're not getting a whole gallon of Gatorade. You're getting just right underneath a gallon. So therefore, we're going to have to talk to the companies about making sure you have a whole gallon of Gatorade. Nobody cares about that. Yeah, see, when they have a whole gallon of immigrants running around their cities. Yeah, there you go. So let's find out what's going on in SORAN cities that might make these people say, I'm done with Joe. No more Joe. Starting off with a little crime. We're Oakland. Oh, snap. Look at this. Okay. Wait a minute. That's out in Oakland. Now, we got us a little ninja. Skinny one, too. Little skinny ninja. Built like a Reach toothbrush. This little skinny weasel right there in broad daylight inside the Apple store Just ripping phones out, having a good time. Look at that. Give me this. Oh, give me these phones. Give me this one. Sick of this mess. Give me that. Look at that. That's Oakland, y'all. People recording him. He don't care. See the little ninja? Uh-huh. Yep. All of them. That man. That man does not even care. He's like, you know what? I'm getting every single phone. Every single phone. I'm not going to take my time. I ain't going to rush. I'm going to take my time, get all these phones. That man ain't worried about the cops. Now watch how this man makes his exit strategy, y'all. Yep, give me this. You're going to give me this. Down the pants. In Oakland, baby, you're going to give me this. Look, I want all the good stuff. Now, I'm out. Peace. Deuces. Wait a minute. Is that a cop car? Is that a cop car? California is kind of crazy. That man went through snatching phones, stuffed them down his trousers, and walked out right past the cop car. Didn't run, ain't rushing, pulled the pants up. Look at that. There you go. Let me go ahead and jump in my ride. Hey, phone's falling all the way down. You can hear him rattling at the bottom of his ankles. They done slid down to the man's ankles. He running across the street, legs wide, trying to keep the pants up. And the cops nowhere to be found. All the people could do is sit back and watch. When you're this blatant, this open, this confident, it's almost surreal. This is one of the things where it's hard to believe. You're like, this can't be really happening. And this is something that I'm watching, but it got to be like they staged this or something. There's no way in the world this man in broad daylight just stole about 50 phones and then tried to cross the street in front of the cop car. Yep, there you go. Let me jump in perhaps my stolen vehicle too. Yeah, take off with all your cell phones and stuff. In California, y'all. In California. Now, I'm telling you right now, I was riding around today thinking about this clip. And I said, I'm so glad. As rough as Youngstown used to be when I was growing up, we never had stuff like this. Criminals actually feared the cops. Criminals actually took pride in their art. They was like, yo, I'm going to outwit the cops. I'm going to be sneaky. Not going to get caught. Not going to leave evidence. Now we got dumb criminals because we got dumb politicians who run the cities. I wish I would see somebody in Youngstown doing that. Right now, we still got enough sense in Youngstown where they would throw a man in jail in Ohio for most of the part of Ohio. But if we ever get to that, where I'm sitting in Walmart or something and I see that, I'm like, okay, pack it up, pack it up, pack it in. Let me begin. I'm bouncing. I'm going to the nearest city with law and order. Law and order. I like to take some law and order right there. Take that right there. So I want some discipline too. Could you sprinkle some discipline on that? I want some accountability. All of that. I want a full-blown meal of accountability. But nope, not there. And then here's Mayor Conehead, y'all. Mayor Conehead want to deflect off of what he's doing up there when it comes down to the legal immigrants and stuff. Because he's going to deflect that mess. Like, get that mess away from me. Because, see, I got other things to take care of, like, crime. He's about to tell us how he's going to take care of some crime, y'all.
Children who attend schools who have soccer games, y'all.
Yeah.
You all are asking me as if I'm not a parent in this city.
Yeah.
Brandon Johnson, Mayor of Chicago. Defund the police advocate.
President Barack Obama took it one step further as well. And basically...
And now, you about to have a new sheriff in town, okay? See, I'm going to tell you right now, if he can't get it done, send me up there. Get this dude off the scene, okay? Right there, if you cut the wings off the hat right there, that's how his hair looks. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, he got his hair looking just like this. A grown man. But here he is now talking about defunding the police.
Police said that the effort of the defund police movement lost an audience.
Why?
Because of that slogan, I guess is what he's calling it.
What slogan? Yeah, of course. Nobody in their right mind thinks that it's a good idea to defund the police except Democrats who run ran cities and states. As we can see, out there in Oakland. Now, do you think if that cop would have got out with his billet club and went to work on that little ninja, you think he would be like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do that again in broad daylight. It would send a massage to all of his other friends who we've been watching do this in California, who's been doing this in New York, all of these places in Shitetown. It would send a message. They'd be like, yo, did you see the little ninja? Get all them knots on top of his head? That whole mask. They would be like, keep the mask on him. Bring him into the station. Like, don't take the mask off. Let's treat him like the Elephant Man. Okay, because he has knots and lumps all over his head. You're going to go in there in broad daylight and still out of that mess. What got him to the point where you feel he can do that? Politicians who do stupid stuff like this man is talking about right here.
Which I don't look at it as a slogan. It's an actual real political goal.
I get it.
There you go. Political goal. But yet, when you say, hey, man, Democrats want to defund the police. No, we don't. No, we support the blue. When they think it's politically advantageous to say they support the blue. But soon as voting time come up, white nationalism, the police are racist, white nationalism, white supremacy, all of this stuff. So here he is back in the day talking about defunding the police. Well, let's see how that works.
I'm mayor. I get it, but you're asking me to give you a date, and I have to court. Do you understand that you have not had a mayor like me? I get that.
And they should be thankful. I bet you right now they're going, man, bring back Beetlejuice. They calling her name, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Shh, don't say her name unless you want her back. I'll take her. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. With this dude running the city into the ground.
I have a wife, I have children, they have schedules.
Yeah.
And plus, we still have public safety that we have to address.
Public safety.
We still have the unhoused that we have to address.
Okay.
I still have a budget that I have to address.
Yeah.
And I'm doing all of that with a black wife raising 3 black children on the west side of the city of Chicago.
So get off my back, because I'm black. See, that's the translation that all black politicians on the Democrat side use. Get off my back, because I'm black. That should be a slogan for all Democrat politicians. Get off my back, I'm black. So now, here he is saying, get off my back, because I'm black. I got kids, I got black kids. You ain't know that? I got black kids, I got a black wife. Okay? I'm doing black stuff. How you expect me to do stuff for everybody when I'm doing black stuff for myself? Okay? So now, let's see, because he said on that agenda that he got to worry about is public safety.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yes.
A Chicago alderwoman has simply had enough of the car thefts plaguing Chicago.
And there are certainly more than enough to talk about. Tia Ewing has the shocking number of crimes recorded in just 1 week's time. Tia.
Well, Dawn and Terrence, it was so shocking when I saw the actual number that I had to call over the executive producer to look at it to make sure I wasn't seeing things.
What? She had to do a double take? You telling me she was... So you telling me she had to do a double take to see if the numbers was right? So now let's go ahead and see just how bad it is, y'all. We're talking about whole cars. Whole cars, they're pretty hard to hide. You know that, right? So let's see just how many cars just went missing in Shitetown.
Car theft was the highest it's ever been in the city of Chicago last year, but this year the thieves aren't slowing down. In 7 days, 457 cars have been stolen.
Holy moly! Did she just say? Hold on, wait. In 1 week? That number can't be real. That number can't. You know what? Honestly, I am hearing this for the first time, and I'm gonna tell you why. The first time I watched this, I paid attention to it, but for some reason, I thought it was 457 cars in a year. In a year, okay? I did not catch it the first time. Did she just say a week?
Last year, but this year, the thieves aren't slowing down. In 7 days, 457 cars have been stolen.
Man, get this dude out of here. You might as well not even buy a nice car in Chicago. In 1 week, 457 cars. That's like half the population in my city right now. That would be, hey, Frank, where's your car? They got me. They got me too. Hey, what about you, Anna? Yeah, they stole mine. Whole neighborhood, everybody's car is gone. So 457 cars in 1 week. 1 week. But I'm sure they're still in these cars that go in and get food and go to work and stuff like that. You know how they say they need it and stuff, you know. Not just the joyride. Terrible stuff. Man, I would be like, nope, I'll take a hoopty. No way in the world in Chicago I'd be talking about, yo, man, give me the nice, Dodge Ram. I want that, put the Hemi in. No. I ain't no Mercedes. I'd be like, give me the Yugo. I like that. I like a Gremlin, please. Yeah. With the Gremlin still inside the car, just to fight off the thieves. Feeding them at night after 12. All right, guys, keep the car safe. Here's some snacks. They open up the car and the Gremlins being be like, man, I had to do it, man. They was going to steal my Gremlin. So I used Gremlins to protect my Gremlin. All right, let me get serious, y'all. Okay, because car theft is a serious matter.
What the hell is going on?
Right.
This isn't a typical car crash. The white car was stolen out of South Suburban Riverdale Tuesday. The car took off. A day later and 15 miles away, this is where it was found.
Just the car. The car left on its own. The car took off a couple blocks later. It's found. I guess it just was like, oh, crap, I'm out of control.
The driver of the stolen car smashed into this red vehicle in the 6300 block of South Stewart in Chicago and tried to get away. In the span of 7 days, from January 29th through February 4th of this year, 457 cars were stolen.
And now I see why she had to get the double take. Yeah, I mean, I had to do the double take. Y'all saw it, man. I was like, what did she just say? In 1 week? I was thinking she was going to say, a whole year. But nope, 1 week. That is phenomenal. This dude got to be the worst mayor at this point. He's leading the league, and as far as the worst mayor in the United States. Got to be. Tight second, man, we got some raggedy ones on the Democrat side. I mean, real raggedy. But tight second got to be Mayor Peanut up there in New York.
That's nearly 65 cars stolen citywide every single day.
I understand that you have not had a mayor like me. I get that.
Yeah. And I hope they never have another one like you. Yeah, somebody said Mad Max. That's what they are. Yeah, they straight living in Mad Max thunder on. As soon as you leave your car, you get out that bad boy, turn around, somebody sitting in the driver's seat. You be like, I just closed the door. How did you get in there that quick? Don't worry, we've been watching you. Where'd you get that key from? Unbelievable, man. So, yep. If I went and visited anybody in Chicago right now, I would be looking at my vehicle like it's the last time I'm going to see it. Every time I get out of that mug, like, oh, well, I'll see you when I see you. Have the insurance already dialed up, ready to hit send. I'm sure the car will be gone once I come out. So let's see what's going on in regards to the people in Chicago that, of course, have to deal with the crime. But then there's another issue. Y'all. Listen to this.
Residents say they no longer have any tolerance for the disruptive behavior by those seeking asylum here.
What?
It's making them feel unsafe.
Did you hear that? They said they ain't got no tolerance for the illegal immigrants living there that's making them feel unsafe. They sound like Donald Trump. They're bringing their worst, their murderers, their rapists, their drug dealers. Now these black folks are saying these precious, gentle woodland creatures are making them feel unsafe and they have no tolerance for them. So now all these black folks up there, xenophobes, that's what I'm wondering.
They disrespect us, they rob us, they harass us.
Oh, that's targeting. That's labeling. There you go. You can't say that about these people because not all of them are like that and stuff like that. You're not supposed to say things like this. But this sister up there, like, they disrespect us, they target us. All of these things, Mayor Brandon done brought to his people. No, not just him, the whole Democrat Party. All of them. So now the same people who voted for these raggedy folks are up there whining about it.
And their patience is wearing thin.
Let me say this. They got one more time to deal with it because otherwise, next time they deal with it, they're going to deal with it from the streets.
Oh, shoot. They about to get physical up there, taking it to the street. Now, I'm wondering if all these black folks start beefing with these Latinos and scuffling in the middle of the street, are they going to call all of these people white supremacists and white nationalists? It would be different if, they were all... getting harassed by people like, who? Bob. If Bob and the crew rode on the scene, if one white person would have said anything like this, you already know, they would have had a fit. Look at this. These white people up here are already labeling all these illegal immigrants, calling them violent and all of this stuff. But for some reason, they're not sharing the feelings, the emotions of these black people in Chicago on national TV. I wonder why. Because see, they want to keep the narrative that everybody loves illegal immigrants, and they're thankful that Brandon Johnson has brought all these illegal immigrants to their city, crammed them into their schools, their neighborhoods, and start giving them the money that they should have. They're thankful for that. They feel connected to them. That, you know what, we want to make sure that we let them know we feel their plight. Their past and history is exactly like us. And all the things we had to go through, slavery and stuff that we didn't live through, and civil rights that the Democrats put us through, along with slavery. Yeah, along with slavery. All of that stuff right there, these illegal immigrants can identify with the same stuff as us. That's why we support them. But instead, what are they doing? Saying, get them out of here.
We're going to take over it. Nobody's going to be able to stop us from what we're going to do to them.
Much of the residents' anger was directed at city officials in attendance, including 20th Ward Alderwoman Jeanette Taylor, Chicago Deputy Police Chief Stephen Chung, and Family and Support Services Commissioner Brandy Kanazi.
They're going to be up there in a minute like West Side Story, y'all. They're going to be up in the Warriors. Clink, clink, clink. Immigrants come out and play. I might have to go up there and get some popcorn. Sit on top of my man truck and watch it. All right, everybody, go to your corners. All right, now you know the rules. There are none. Okay. Ding! I wonder how would the news cover that if these folks start beefing like that? I mean, that right there would be a PR nightmare because they ain't going to come out and call all these black people racist and stuff. Now, the sad part is Mayor Conehead would come out and chastise his own people, though. I guarantee you, he did it once before when they started getting mad. And they were trying to shove them into their neighborhood and they come on, start pushing and, stuff like that. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable. I'm going, no, what's unacceptable is your raggedy tail dragging all of these people into the city and got them sleeping in police stations, got them sleeping in the airport, and then building. Just when you wake up one day, you're like, what is this? They're doing construction in my neighborhood. What is that? Oh, it's going to be a refugee camp. Can you imagine that? I mean, you sitting there going, wait a minute, hold up. Who cleared this? Who approved this? We didn't. That's the moment that you realize that the Democrats don't really care about you. See, that's that wake-up call right there. So let's continue hearing about these Democrat voters complain about Democrats.
At one point, police had to intervene, breaking up an argument during public comment.
We have a hard no for immigrants coming here.
Look at the black version of Bob Bob. We have a hard no with immigrants coming here. Oh, boy. Now, that is a message that the Democrats don't want to get out. Because at this point, all of the liberals think that the only people that will have a problem with illegal immigrants are white nationalist Trump supporters. And they've been successful with pushing this narrative. This is why these clips like this needs to be blasted on every network. I would ask these people, if I was the RNC chair, I would be calling up everyone. Is it okay if we use your clip in our next promotional ad? And our campaign ad? I would collect every black person in this city who said, we don't want this crap, and this is what it's doing to our city, and put them on a reel. The whole minute commercial would be nothing but black Democrats showing just how much Democrats care about them by shoving all of these people in their neighborhood and using up all the resources. That's what I would do, because you know what's going to happen. When it comes close to voting, they're going to sweep all of these black folks under the rug. Yeah, they're going to make sure that, and the Republicans don't take advantage of this. It burns me up. This is a gift. These angry black folks mad at illegal immigrants totally puts the back up against the wall when it comes down to the Democrats and the narrative that only white upper class conservatives don't want illegal immigrants in their cities and neighborhoods. Man, I would unite with these people. Man, we would have a good old party like Eddie Murphy said. Jerry Curl juice and suntan lotion. All of us. You see it all over the place. Everybody hanging out like, yeah, you guys don't like them up here either. See, Bob, put all the racism aside. Put it all aside. Because we on one accord, man.
A very hard no.
We come in a community of black people where we already get the low scraps. And then you want to take the little scrap, the resources that we have, and put us at the bottom of the barrel? That's not fair. And I won't have it.
I have a tax.
There's Mayor Conehead. Let's see what he got to say about all of this stuff right here. He's doing an interview, y'all. So let's see what he got to say, because his people mad. I'm sure he's going to say, you know what, it's the mayor of Texas, it's him, and then it's all of that stuff.
To help pay for the migrant crisis.
Here's what I've said repeatedly. Okay. This is an international crisis.
And we've heard you say that.
Okay, so then
we heard all the Democrats say that, because that's what they told you to say. They probably send a memo out. All right, if you get questioned about the illegal immigration thing, just say it's it's a national crisis, and then it's a regional crisis, and you know what, we're doing the best we can, and you know what, we have seasons that this happens. All of the stupid talking points that they give, and nobody pushes back on them.
Then you know the answer then.
Well, no, because the answer I asked is, are you adding a tax?
The answer is the federal government has to do its job.
And what if they don't?
Well, look, there are 30,000 Ukrainians in this city right now who sought asylum, who were refugees. What's the difference between that crisis and the crisis that we're experiencing now? So this is not an unprecedented demand. There were services that were attached.
Well, actually, both of them are a result of the stupid Biden administration. Both of them. They're the ones that instigated the war over there in Ukraine. They displaced a lot of them. But then it comes down to the illegal immigrants. They asked them to come. I would search the border. So both of them are a result of bad Democrat policies. But at the same time, the difference, though, is the Ukrainians are probably going, well, I have nothing to do with this war. And now the war is taking place. But what I'm not going to do is get there and do what a lot of these immigrants are doing in these neighborhoods. Yeah, these people are complaining about Ukrainians. So I don't know what they done did with the Ukrainians. But nonetheless, they done shoved all of these other folks in a confined area, and it's starting to wreak havoc. So now this guy's trying to make a comparison. Like, well, what's the difference between No, the difference is because you guys called yourselves a sanctuary city, which was a big fat bullhorn to all of these illegal immigrants. And they all came. Now you're whining, talking about the federal government got to step in and help.
To individuals who were seeking asylum from the Ukraine, and the federal government acted. And so my question is, and it's the question that everybody is raising.
Yeah, because the federal government was responsible for the darn war. Yeah, and they're also responsible for this mess. But they can't act upon this one right about now. They like, nah, hush up, boy. Handle it until the election is over.
What's the difference between those who are seeking asylum in this country, 30,000 of whom are in the city of Chicago? What's the difference between Ukrainian refugees and those who are seeking asylum from Central and South America?
Right. Well, apparently the federal government then found some type of place for these Ukrainians and got them settled to where they're seemingly not a problem. Yeah. So, the Ukraine war took place, 2 years ago now? So apparently they done got these folks settled and used some federal funds, but they ain't giving no federal funds for these illegal immigrants from South America and all over the other globe right about now. God knows. But here he is trying to make a comparison. Let's see how she handles it.
So that's not the question the people of Chicago are asking. The people of Chicago want to know, will you raise a tax, whether it be a property tax or implement something else?
Well, that's interesting.
She like, we don't care about that. We don't care about that. We want to know, are you about how you get all this money for these people? That's what we want to know.
No one has ever asked me if I'm going to raise a tax. In fact, I did not raise property taxes. And still...
Right now you haven't.
Without raising property taxes, full investment in homelessness, $250 million, $100 million for violence prevention. We're going to open up mental health clinics.
Yeah.
We've eliminated sub-minimum wage. Black and brown women who were tip workers. We're talking about tip workers that's attached to slavery.
What in the heck? Almost cussed. Did you hear this fool? I mean, you might as well go ahead and say, I'm a mayor for black people. So now, we got women of color that were waitresses that now we went ahead and limited, that we removed the tips or something like that, I don't know. And they're attached to slavery somehow. I mean, this is the most insulting thing ever. How are you going to be a mayor? And here you are focusing on a race of people, and you're attaching them somehow to slavery. What the heck are you? Maybe he needs to see what happened to LeVar Burton or whatever his name is, or Sonny Holston, all of them, who did the little, genealogy and come to find out that their folks own slaves. Yeah, how do you know? Your folks might have owned slaves, Mayor Conehead, but here he is out there attached to slavery. That is so insulting and so racist. And once again, back up off me because I'm black. Get off my back because I'm black.
We abolished that in this city. We've also added paid time off for thousands of workers. We're investing in people. My administration has not missed a beat. We have built an operation centered around people's humanity to respond to this international crisis that the federal...
International crisis. I mean, just throwing that stuff out there. Now, he act like the people in Chicago, their lived experience isn't real. All the people we saw complaining, saying what's going on, apparently their lived experience means nothing. Everything's hunky-dory. I've done all of this stuff. People are complaining for nothing, I guess. It's all in their head. All in their head. So as he's sitting there trying to gaslight her about all the things he did, she's going to ask him once again.
The federal government has been negligent in. And while doing all of that, I've still kept every single promise that I was going to invest in people.
So you can commit to not raising property taxes, regardless of how bad the situation.
My budget, the $16.77 billion that I just passed,
What?
41 alders, I believe, supported
That's not answering the questions.
This budget. And
So
we did all of that without raising property taxes.
Yeah, Daniel.
Yeah, you did that. She's asking you to commit to not raising property taxes as you move forward and building refugee camps and all of this stuff. Notice he never said, I commit to that. You know why? Because he's about to stick it to him. And look at this.
And we're here at the landing zone where migrants continue to be dropped off on a daily basis. And we're talking about nearly $800 million that Chicago and Illinois have put towards taking care of these migrants.
With pixie dust. They paid for all of that with pixie dust.
Who have arrived over the last year, healthcare, housing, and education. And that is frustrating a lot of folks in Chicago's black communities who say those are the same resources that they have been needing and asking for years, but have had taken away or just denied due to a lack of funding, funding that is now apparently available for the migrants.
So even if you're not raising taxes, you're still hurting your people by taking away funding that should go to the people. And he's bluffing. He's hoping that she don't really hold him to it to make him commit to saying, I'm not going to raise that, because he knows that's coming too. That's coming too. So you're taking away all of the money that should be going to the people, and you know you're going to raise taxes because you cannot continue to support this crap if you don't, especially if the federal government is not going to help you. So guys, here we go. Oh, wait a minute. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. Listen to this. They about to say it out loud, y'all. All I want to say.
The negotiation didn't have a path to citizenship. It was entirely on their terms in order to get Ukraine funding.
Good. And they shouldn't have been talking about Ukraine funding either. Yeah. No path to citizenship here, man. If you were not brought here when you was like 2 or 3, like the Dreamers or whatever, might be able to work with them a bit. But anybody especially in the last 3 years under Biden, all got to go. We should go ahead and revoke the automatic citizenship if you have a baby. Yes, let's backdate that when Trump get in. All right, we're going to, go back 3-4 years ago. We're going to go ahead and say that didn't count. We're removing it from just get the Men in Black thing. That law never existed. They all have to go. So here this guy's talking about paths to citizenship. See, he's Marxist, propagandist. So he brings on the Democrat, y'all. And he's up here trying to go in hard against the Republicans in their bill. No path to citizenship. And listen to this nasty Democrat leak out who they really love.
Right? Well, I mean, Chris, that's been a failed play for 20 years. Oh. So you are right that has been the Democratic strategy for 30 years, maybe. And it has failed to deliver for the people we care about most, the undocumented Americans that are in this country.
Man! Oh, And I thought they loved us. They really loved us. That man just straight said they've been trying to get pathways to citizenship for all of these people for like 30 years. And I wonder why. I wonder why. And then they said, for the people we love most. And notice he didn't call them illegal immigrants. For these undocumented, what do you call them? He might have said either citizens or he might even said Americans. I don't know. Let me see.
For the people we care about most, the undocumented Americans that are.
What the heck is that? You hear these nasty stinking fools? Undocumented Americans. What is that? What is that? I mean, this is I don't see how these people even get in office. So now this fool comes out and says, one, we've been trying to get these people citizenship for like 30 years. Pathway to citizenship. And two, you know what? Yeah, these are people we care about. All right, the most. The people we care about the most. And they're just undocumented Americans. Americans. Now, this man's trying to straight up drop a subliminal message into all of the dummies who watch this propaganda mess that these are not illegal immigrants. These aren't even undocumented citizens. These are actual Americans that are undocumented. How can you be an undocumented American? This fool needs to go. Somebody should run. Once again, he gives everybody this wonderful gift with this piece right here. Why aren't the Republicans running this clip constantly? This will be on every network. This is how the Democrats feel about Americans. But hey,
in this country.
Oh, and we're going to go ahead and end, y'all. I don't even know if we're going to be able to get through this. It's almost an hour. I said I was going to stick to an hour tonight, y'all. I said I was going to stick to an hour. You know what? All right, hurry. Let's go ahead and try to get through this beat down. Because you know I can't avoid a beat down, y'all. You know, I got to... Man. Ladies and gentlemen, it's ladies' night fight. So, guys, we got Steph. What was it? What is her name? Stefani. Oh, wait. You know what? I ain't gonna be able to get through it. I just realized I got other clips before it. Oh man. All right. Hold on. I'm gonna try. You know what? I'm gonna try to get through this mess right now, and then I'll see how we doing on time. So this is CNN, guys, the most trusted name in news. This is what's leading up to the fight night.
Is CNN the most trusted name in news?
Certainly had a broke Iran, and now you have a very rich Iran. Iran was broke when I left. And they had no money to give.
Yeah, I want to hear this. I want to hear what Trump is saying.
Okay, I think we have gotten all the legal analysis we're going to get out of
Wait a minute.
You know,
What just happened? I was listening to that CNN. Oh, okay. You're protecting me. You're protecting me from Donald Trump's evilness. That's what it is. I can't listen to Donald Trump because I'm not an adult and I can't make my own decisions and can't come to my own conclusions. Thank you, CNN. Thank you, fake crapper. Did you see this garbage? So now he just goes ahead, interrupts the president, or Donald Trump, who is, in my mind, the president. Yeah, interrupts him to go ahead and start mocking him. Well, that's enough. The legal analyst that, all right. See, he don't want their people hearing about what he did, his accomplishments, and what he wants to do. So he interrupts him just like Rachel Madcow did, and then watch what this mature, unbiased group of propagandists do.
Are there because this was actually an opportunity for her to come out and say, no, it's not because he wants to talk about himself. Right?
No, what you need to talk about is that baby voice that you got. No, it's not. I mean, he wants to talk about... Who are you? Brian Stelter reincarnated? No, it's not, because he wants to talk about himself in there. Good grief. All right, put some bass all up in that voice. He's baseless. But now they're laughing and choking, acting like whatever Trump was saying is funny. Now, here you go. All of them been pushing this whole thing with removing Trump off the ballot, 13th Amendment, all that stuff. Was it 14th or the 13th? 14th Amendment? I forget what it is. 13th or 14th, something like that. It might be there. I think it was the 14th. All this stuff that they're trying to use, right, to get him off the ballot. Well, it all backfired because the Supreme Court is about to blow that whole thing up. 14, thank you. Supreme Court's about to blow it all up. If you heard them in the court, they were like destroying the guy. The young man was all right there. We think Trump shouldn't be on the ballot because he's evil and he's mean and stuff. And he did stuff. And they're like, well, what about this? Oh, I think that is, well, you got a point there. But still, we should take him off the ballot. So now, instead of focusing on that, they're going to go ahead and start mocking him.
He doesn't want to talk about the Supreme Court and say, oh, the Supreme Court did a nice job today. He just wants to talk about what's on his mind himself.
Could I just say, someone didn't tell him that this sounded like good news for him today. Clearly, I mean, it wasn't just the rambling sort of campaign speech, but if he had simply listened to the analysis afterwards, he would know that it sounds like he's in good shape.
Or George's point, which is that he doesn't even care. He just wants to change the subject back to whatever his...
But Jake, he's going to care when the court acts on the immunity case, right? And I think that's the real question now.
Now they just shifted it. Now they are hanging their hat on the immunity case. All right, he doesn't care. These are the biggest propagandas ever. So they're going to go ahead, cut Trump off like they always do. Try to mock him, make it seem like he's scatterbrained and he's just talking about himself. He's self-absorbed. No, he's talking about things that anybody who's been paying attention are like, these are real issues. Yes, that's good. The Supreme Court is probably going to, side with me on this. But we also got stuff we got to take care of moving forward. I want to go ahead and tout what I did for the American people and the contrast between me and Joe Biden. See, because right now we're living in garbage. So here they are trying to make it seem like the Trump just out there freestyling like, all right, I just want to sit back and say, did you know I'm great? I can do everything. It's all about me. If what you're saying about you is true and it has benefited us, then I want to hear it. But CNN don't want you to hear that. Yeah, they want to make it seem like Trump's scatterbrained and all of this stuff. But now he got another dangerous thing. Now they're failing on all of the hopes and dreams that they say, this is the big one. This is the big one. Then when that one falls through, okay, never mind. This one is going to be the big one.
Justices are going to go back. They're going to vote in their private conference for how they're going to come out in this case. And then next week, they're going to get an emergency application from President Trump seeking to further delay the January 6th prosecution here in D.C.
Is making remarks tonight from his home in Florida.
They did.
As far as we can tell, and what we were prepared for here is that this is basically a campaign speech in which he is repeating his same lies and allegations against his perceived enemies. It is just getting started. So far, he's just giving his normal list of grievances. We don't consider that necessarily newsworthy, and there's a cost to us as a news organization of knowingly broadcasting untrue things. So our deal with you is that we will monitor these remarks. If he does say anything newsworthy, we will turn them around and report on that right away. But for now, just know that it's happening and we're not taking it.
So, Fake Crapper pulled a Rachel Madcow, but he didn't do it as direct as Rachel Madcow. He just decides, I'm just going to interrupt him and say, this legal analysis right here. Now, do you think we would do that to Joe Biden? As Joe Biden was getting up there, stinking it up the other night, we was like, don't you touch this dial. Don't you turn this. We want to see everything this man has to say. We don't have to hide candidates from people. We don't have to sit back and say that this is stuff that shows that they are propagandists because they censor and they try to make excuses for their censorship. We're sitting back saying, show it all. You've never seen them interrupt Joe Biden on a conservative network and say, all right, the president's rambling on. He's forgetting people. He's talking to dead people. So we might as well go ahead and cut from here because he's making no sense. We're like, show it. It's hilarious. It shows that our assessment of him is accurate. We're not bamboozled. Show every word so I can laugh at the top of my lungs. So now, here we go.
This sounded like good news for him today.
So guys, one of the Democrats had to come out and address the media and call them out and maybe give them some suggestions on how they can become a good media, a born-again media, like Kiva says sometimes. So let's see what this wonderful man right here, who is a MAGA Republican, had to say to the media during a press conference.
You know what I love about this, watching where President Trump is at in the polls? I love it because it shows the American people don't trust you guys. And they shouldn't. because you guys are full of it and everybody knows it. There's a few honest journalists in this town, but they're very few and far between.
And we just saw them all up there full of it. A whole bunch of shite, full of shite on that whole network right there. All of them, full of it. Yeah, I bet you can smell the shite through the whole studio. So yeah, they're full of it. And they wonder why Trump is getting more popular and all of that stuff. What else do the media do?
You know how I know it wasn't an insurrection? Because he hasn't been charged with insurrection.
There you go. It's solved. The mystery about the insurrection is very solved. Right there. Very clear. I mean, just straight him out and say, you know why I know he's not an insurrectionist? Because he wasn't charged with insurrection. Something so simple. Wow. I wonder if they ever thought about that in the media. I wonder over there at fake news CNN, did they ever go, you know what? Here's a theory. Maybe Trump isn't guilty of insurrection because he was not charged with insurrection. Nah. That's us thinking too deep into it. Let's go back to our other theory. Well, he didn't say anything. He said, go and let your voices peacefully be heard. But at the same time, somehow we're concluding that that's an insurrection. See, now this guy right here is really showing how stupid either the media is or how corrupt they are.
And we can all see by the lawfare how he's facing up over 700 years in jail right now, how they've tried to destroy this man, destroy his businesses, that if they felt they had an inkling of a chance of convicting President Trump of jaywalking or insurrection, they would absolutely charge him.
Bingo! That is how you expose them. See, this right here shows how much propaganda we are subjected to. Because, see, when you look at all of the accusations and narratives that come out of the fake news and the Democrats, without the substance to back it up, without the evidence, the proof, all of that stuff, it shows that it's propaganda because they don't have anything to produce. You should not have to keep telling people about something when you can just show them. See, I could pull up a whole bunch of clips of Antifa and Black Lives Matter tearing up stuff. They'll pull up a couple clips from January 6th and show that over and over and over again. It's things like this that makes people just say, wow, that's a very simple view, but it exposes everything. If Trump was losing his mind, I said it the other day, if Trump was making gaffes like Biden, do you think that it would be few in between when we see clips of him making gaffes on CNN and MSNBC? They would be showing that every single day, and it wouldn't be one clip, it would be a plethora. If they had the same amount of clips that we have for Joe Biden, that's all you would hear on their networks. They wouldn't even talk. They would just play those clips all day and all night. But yet, here they are. Do you think if white nationalism was the greatest threat to the homeland, they'd have to keep telling us this? They would just show all the clips. If white supremacy was just taking over, they would show all the clips. That's what it comes down to when it comes down to Trump. As much as they say Trump's evil and he did this and he's an insurrectionist, they've been trying to get this dude for every single thing. But yet they're taking their time. They're going through the whole Russia collusion thing. Remember that, guys? 2.5 years trying to suggest that he was a Russian agent, only to find out that they were the real Russian agents. Now, if Trump was a real Russian agent, you think that had just meandered through the investigation for 2.5 years? If they had the goods on him, they would have pulled the trigger day one. Same thing with this insurrection crap. They would have found him guilty in the Senate during his second impeachment. But nope. Second impeachment. I don't want to feel like a Joe Biden moment. Second impeachment. Yeah, so let's continue.
You know how else I know it's not an insurrection?
How?
Because this is the first insurrection in the history of the world where the people that were a part of it were unarmed.
Well, you know what? Now you're thinking like common sense people. Unlike these so-called brainiacs, these so-called educated professional people who's sitting in there like, do you really support the president and his insurrection and stuff? What insurrection? Where are the guns? Yeah. Who was leading that insurrection? Huh? What was the outcome? What was their next step once they got in the Capitol? See, y'all don't think like that. Y'all are supposed to be professionals, but you never start to say, wait, how did this progress and what was the next step? What was it going to lead to? What was the outcome? They were just going to bust in there and say, don't vote. Okay, you got us there. We're not going to go ahead and secure the votes. We're just going to go ahead and... What did they think that these people were going to do? But yet they're still running around saying it was an insurrection. And now we got smart Republicans calling out the Democrats' lies and the media.
Pretty hard to do if you walk around and see how many individuals are carrying firearms. All right. Last thing I want to say about how I know it's not an insurrection is because I actually listened to the words of the president. If you're trying to stoke an insurrection, you don't tell the people listening, hey, I want you to go over there peacefully and patriotically. All right?
I've been saying that forever. Just common sense things. Just common sense things. You know what else you don't do? You don't offer 10 to 20,000 armed National Guard to secure and protect the Capitol. You don't do that. You're making it real hard for those MAGA hat wearers with their cell phones to breach the Capitol if you bring in the National Guard. Hey, Trump, what are you doing? You're making our job hard. See, you don't sit back and tell them to walk over and let their voices peacefully be heard. You don't tell them it's time to go home now. You don't do that. But yet they're somehow able to still keep telling people that was an insurrection because of the fake news.
All right, this is not an insurrection. What it is a party that's scared to death of this man because he's America first, and he's shown time and time again he's willing to bust up the swamp, and he continues to beat you like a drum.
Oh, just like he's doing right now. Right to the esophagus. Punching him right in the solar plexus. That's what he's doing. So, yeah, that's the real insurrection. Nancy Pelosi, the Democrats, and the deep state, along with the media. And that's why they're taking the beat down with the Democrats and all of them, because they're all one. They're all one. See, they've been attacking Trump and getting beat all this time. And I'm sure they're like, man, what in the world else can we do to this dude? He keeps somehow getting stronger, slipping us. How in the world is he getting through this? So, yeah, they're taking a beating and they know it and it's coming. So they're going to have to go ahead and swap Creepy Sleepy out somehow because all of the other shenanigans seem to not be working.
That's what this is really about. And for all you journalists out there, you know, that are pretty cowardly,
like
some
CNN?
in this room right now, you don't have the balls to write the truth. And even if you did, your publishers wouldn't publish it.
Oh, he said they've been snipped. Oh, they've been neutered. Oh, no. Well, it's true. None of them will get out there and be like, all right, you know what? He has a point. We're going to go ahead and ask some serious questions. Their editors will look at that mess like, what is this crap? This isn't propaganda. This isn't propaganda. We pay you for what? Propaganda, man. For shite. Right? Yeah. Get this mess out of here. Now, what I want to hear is about some white nationalism. And I want to hear more about Hitler. That's what I want. It's the only thing I want to hear out of you.
Because you're a part of a propaganda outlet, probably one of the biggest in the history of the world. If you had any courage,
It's probably one of the... Yeah, you're right. I don't think there was ever a time in the history of the world with this much propaganda. I'm talking going back to Rome, Greek, you name it, some of the greatest empires. This is propaganda on a whole nother level. And it's crazy because like even under some of the worst, Hitler, Mussolini and all that stuff, those people really didn't, that fell for it, they didn't know it was propaganda. I mean, he caught them at a wrong, right time. They were all mad and all. This right here is in your face propaganda where even the people in the country that they're supposed to be influencing are all going, this is propaganda. I mean, this ain't working. This is straight up 100% propaganda. Our government is trying to gaslight us, lie to us, and manipulate us. And we're not falling for it. So this man's called him out. Yeah, greatest. And plus you got access to all of these things to help you with the propaganda. See, throughout history, you had to go and spread the propaganda through mouth. You had the jesters come out to hear ye, scrolls or whatever they used in newspapers. But now you got access to propaganda on all kind of levels. So, yeah, he's right about that.
I want you to ask some questions about that day, January 6th, that we keep talking about. Why has the pipe bomber not been caught yet?
Boom!
Why is the pipe bomber?
Those are questions that the eggheads in that room probably never thought to ask. That's what it is. You're not curious about that pipe bomber?
Bomber not been caught. The one individual that could have committed multiple mass casualties has not been caught yet. Go follow some of Beatty's reporting over at Revolver News. He's got some evidence for you guys.
Yeah. Let somebody else help you do your job because apparently you guys are horrible at it. No curiosity whatsoever. Now, if that pipe bomber was a real white nationalist, you think the media would not ask that question? Why haven't the white nationalists been caught? We want to know why the white nationalists are still on the loose. Could it be that you want the white nationalists that? But for some reason, they're not even curious about this so-called white nationalist right-wing pipe bomber. Not even curious, including the FBI. They're not either. What pipe bomber? Oh, the pipe bomber. Yeah, we're working on it. Sources and methods. We can't talk about an ongoing investigation. So, yeah.
What's going on up here with January 6th is there's a pretty big cover-up actually going on up here in Capitol Hill about some of the involvement of our government.
No.
And it's quite unsavory. But here's some other questions for you journalists to ask.
Yeah, help them out. You journalists to ask, because see, they don't know like the real questions. He's taking them back to journalism school right now.
Why did it take so long for Ray Epps to be charged? Go watch videos of Ray Epps on that day and how he was stoking the entire thing and how long it took him to be charged. And yet there were so many people that were brought into the DC jail, and they're still there to this day. So
wow, simple questions like that these so-called journalists never even thought about. Yeah. Sitting back talking about J6 all day, all night long, blaming Trump, but the main dude, yeah, they sat back and took, 2.5 years to give this dude a what? The Joe Biden treatment? Yeah, instead of being too mentally blew out, he's too much of a fed to charge. I mean, he's a poor, innocent guy that just was in the wrong place at the wrong time. He tried to break it up. He's not functioning in his right mind because he's a Bigfoot. There you go. You can't hold him to the same requirements as regular people. All we did was shaved him down and put him out there. Yeah, that guy. 2.5 years. But grandmas have been locked up, and grandpas and folks that just walked outside the door and all of that. And, they've been gagged and all of that stuff. Gag orders. I mean, they ruined. What was the Brandon Straka? Ruined that kid's life. Ruined his life. Yep. But Ray Epps slap on the wrist. Don't do it again, Big Ray. Don't do it again.
You guys want to ask some questions? Those are some questions. But the bottom line is we all know President Trump did not commit insurrection. And he's probably going to be the president of the United States once again.
Bingo! There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Now, guys, unfortunately, I am now going to have to switch up my hours. I can no longer operate like a vampire. So I wanted to finish all of those clips in time to be able to bring y'all the final fight of the night where the girls get together. Oh, yeah, and go to war on CNN. But you're going to have to stay tuned. You're going to have to come in tomorrow, same time, same place, because I'm opening up with it tomorrow. At the same time, 7 o'clock, I'm opening up with the fight. Okay? So be there, be square. All right, I got to prep because I got an early morning get up, y'all. I hate it. I hate to have to do it. I like sitting up into the middle of the night working on all these clips and stuff, but I got to get up super duper early, so I got to start prepping for that. But nonetheless, I thought I could be able to get through this a lot quicker, but you know how it gets, man. I start talking and having a good time. Oh, there, guys. Don't try to act like y'all don't want me to go. Don't y'all been gone, man. Y'all trying to make me feel all funny on the inside. Hold on. Gotta push it down. All right. So, but I do thank y'all for hanging out with me. And so to make sure y'all get what you came here for, tomorrow, that's what I'm opening up with. The fights. But I do want to thank y'all for hanging out. Make sure y'all hit that like button, share my videos, okay? I'm going to keep it right here. Anyway, matter of fact, let me see something here. Let me go right here to the end so y'all can make sure y'all know that that's where that's what's on the agenda for tomorrow. Follow me on all the other social media platforms. Don't forget to text MAGA to 330-974-4607. There you go. And if you want to support the channel through my monthly fundraiser, the link is below. And don't forget, check out the store, Kevin's Corner Store. Follow me on Rumble and subscribe to my alternative channel. Okay. Now, with that being said, y'all, boy, I tell you, life ain't nothing worse than getting up early in the morning. I sit there on the side of the bed for like 10 minutes contemplating. Like, should I just get back in the bed? Nah, I guess I got to go and do stuff. So it is what it is. But God bless y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Same time, same place. Let's get out of here. I'm mad that I couldn't get to the fight too. I was excited about the fight. I know you see the eights. Yeah. See y'all tomorrow. Same time, same place. Take care.